Yep, got done with another PlayStation 2 game once again, and today I wish to talk about Ico. Yep, Ico. Gonna be talking about this one once and for all. This is a 2001 game to come out by the director Fumito Ueda, which, if you haven't heard that name, Fumito Ueda specifically, this man is the person who is also well known for probably coming up with a pretty big game that a lot of hardcore video game nerds should know about, and that's Shadow of the Colossus, a game that I've been dying and patiently waiting to finally play. And now that Ico is done, I'm gonna definitely be playing this game once and for all. But before that, I wish to talk about Ico specifically. This was his first big critically acclaimed game to come out. For a game to come out back in 2001, I would expect maybe the graphics or such maybe age super poorly, or maybe the story itself would age really poorly. But no, shockingly, after playing this game for a good 6 to 8 hours, because it's a really short puzzle platformer, I can confidently say that this game right here is one of, if not the most underrated and probably the most unique games for its time period. And I don't say that lightly, considering the Aiko's story and its foreplay. It's kind of remind me a little bit of the boy meets girl concept, which I believe is what Fumito Ueda was trying to go for at the time anyway. And I think the another comparison I can make with Aiko after finishing this game is if you like watching Samurai Jack, for example, you're gonna get a lot of bang for your buck for this game because again, there's little to no dialogue in this game. The whole purpose is that you're just simply trying to solve puzzles and reach to the end of said game. And of course, what is the game all about? Well, this is all about a player, or sorry, a boy that you control named Aiko on the front cover who was born with horns, which unfortunately in this village is considered a bad omen. And after the people in his village decide to lock him up in this strange abandoned castle where he's going to be sacrificed, he of course is then freed by a myriad of miracles. And during this his time of figuring out how to get out of the castle, he comes across a young girl named Yorda, who is the daughter of a queen that will be pretty prevalent throughout the game and the story itself. And throughout this journey, both Aiko and Yorda go through these ups and downs of solving puzzles while simultaneously fighting against evil, mysterious shadow creatures in the game, and also just having the sole purpose of just escaping the castle and starting a new life fresh and anew. But of course, there's a pretty bad queen who is the mother of, the mother related to Yorda, who wants to capture Yorda for the sake of extending her lifespan, etc. So again, the story itself is really simple. It's not really complex as you expect, but again, when you really play this really short and honestly really gorgeous game, you're going to be really lost and immersed in the world that you really want to look at every little detail that this game has to offer. And given that the PlayStation 2 was really pushed to its limits at the time, I really felt like the PS2 really showcased the best details, as but showcasing a lot of minimalistic attention in the story in itself. And I guess we'll start off with the pretty obvious one, the graphics. The graphics in 2001 standards after playing Ico, I will say may not again appeal to everybody, but even with despite those flaws and maybe the moments where um the dark and light in the game could be a little hard to see when you're playing through certain puzzles throughout the game, it's still a really nice, really immersive game where you just get to explore every environment possible, from a rainy environment to the driest of driest, the sunniest environments, even going far as testing your fear of heights, because holy shit, get ready for anyone who's has a fear of heights. Ico may not be suitable for you, unfortunately, because there's a lot of moments where it's it feels like you might one misstep or one little slip up, you're basically gonna fall down and die. And Aiko is no exception to putting that really crazy perspective there super high up on the mountain or something. Another thing that I also like about this is the soundtrack, the voice acting, everything about it just really fits into the Aiko lore and just really hits home why this game was so unique for its time. Um, if I have to like I guess start with like a few other things to like shout out, the mechanics in the game mechanics are about as simple as you will get, where you all you can do is jump, climb on walls. You can also swing on ropes. There's also moments where you have to climb on certain ledges and figure out ways to like dismount and like time your dismounts correctly if you want to hit to the certain next level. It really makes you like really think hard, but not too much where it's like super overbearing like other puzzle games that's out there. And then the enemies. Now, in the enemies in Ico in this game are honestly like one of the more unique enemies you're gonna experience, where you're gonna come across like these really weird shadow people that will attack you and will try to take Yorda for the sake of Yorda. So basically, throughout this game, your whole premise is that you're not only trying to solve puzzles, but you have to make sure that Yorda is with you at all times and you protect her from these shadowy figures from taking her away. Because if she's taken away, you basically lose the game and you have to like start back from the last checkpoint. And that's pretty much what you're doing there. And I guess if I had to talk about like a criticism about the game, or not even a criticism, but just one thing that was really annoying about it when I was playing through Ico, is that some of the shower enemies, specifically the one where it has like the weird spider tentacle shit. I don't even know how to describe it, but there's like these weird spider wing people that every time when they come around, they somehow have like the craziest like dodging mechanics ever. Where I swear to God, when I use Ico's like stick or using a sword in the game, it's hard to hit the enemies every now and then. And when people even come up now with the debate about like, oh yeah, can video games become an art form? Yes, it can. Because games like Ico right here, I feel instantly just proves that games can be an art form, an expression, and it can be more than just like again, like your typical games you come to know in like the mainstream wise. And even though it is sad when we look up Ico and the sales, like this game sadly wasn't like a commercial hit, but despite that, it has garnered such a huge cult following and has received massive numerous critical acclaim over the years, and even people saying that it's like one of the greatest video games of all time. And it's not surprised as to why when you consider that like games of this caliber kind of replicate and are influenced by Ico in its own respect. And I could probably name like maybe like some pretty dead obvious puzzle platformers that really wish that they kind of immerse themselves similar to how it was with Ico. So for the first of its kind to really hit the puzzle platform where it's not only just a random bullshit, just a boring puzzle platform you come to know and expect. I think that Ico was one of the first to really be like, hey, we're not just a puzzle platform, but we this is where you want to get really lost and you want to dive deep into the game. And I think that this game holds up really well. So yeah, Ico instant classic game. I think that this is 100% a must play. Again, 6 to 8 hours is worth your time if you put in the effort, the energy, the time itself. Yes, the puzzles may be, could be a little bit a hit or miss for some. Yes, this is going to require a lot of thinking, but that's what puzzle platforms are all about at the end of the day. And finally, I guess if you really don't like the janky mechanics, because again, Ico does have, once again, its fair share of janky mechanics, look, all power to you at the end of the day. I'm not your fucking dad, but I still think that people should give this game a shot. It's worth your time, even if you're not a huge puzzle platformer guy yourself. And yeah, I just wanted to simply rant talk about this because, yeah, this was a nice little change of pace concerning the recent games I had to play as of late. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you on the next one. Later.